feel like this is the second time we've talked about the show, and I'm again definitely not going to watch it based off of your
But the
recommendation. So
first time
thanks.
you were hearing about eating alien babies and
Yeah,
all
that
this
was
stuff.
weird.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to brand new episode of Heroes Peak Podcast, hosted today by yours truly, James. Whoop whoop! And our Heroes Peak squad. We've got to my bottom right, Mike. What's going on, Mike?
What's up?
To my top left, Keith.
Yo, what up?
And closing out our squad here is someone who seems to have a spicy meal, Ghost Pepper, because she's literally turning red in front of our eyes.
Really turning red. Yo,
All the way from L.A. L.A. stand up, Brooks!
James got that energy tonight like they fired Chris Terrio from Hollywood.
Ooh.
Happy Monday, y'all.
Or they decided to remake the last 3 Star Wars films.
Hell yeah. For those of you who can't tell, some of you probably can, we do not have Chris today, so I'm taking over the hosting and moderating duties. So please bear with me if I screw up, which I probably will. Today's agenda is actually going to be pretty short. We're going to really go over last week's presidential debate, which was interesting in itself, as well as the upcoming.
You can catch our live coverage we did last week on YouTube.
That's right. It's still up. We haven't gotten kicked off because we were using footage from the debate.
Oh, they won't. I'll work around it.
We're also going to talk about the upcoming vice presidential debate that's scheduled for this Wednesday.
Yes.
And then we're going to go over a few items here, such as the SNL premiere that came out. SNL came for their, 42nd or 43rd season premiere in studio, although they didn't have they had somewhat of a live studio audience, but this time it was in studio. It wasn't, working from home. And then at the end, we're going to do, for our weekly review of a show or a movie, Raised by Wolves. Season 1 just concluded last week. So a few of us are going to give us our spoiler filled or
Yes.
all right, spoiler filled.
Season's over.
Yeah, we're going to beat it to the ground.
Yeah,
But
but
that's
the
it.
season just ended. Like, wow.
Yeah, but this won't air till the week after anyway, right? So catch up, everyone.
Well, can we do a little better this time? Can we knock it out in 48 hours? New hosts, new rules, man.
All right, works for me.
All right.
I'm not the one in the editing bay, though, right? So you
That's
got to talk to
true.
the editors.
Well, he's not here. We'll let him know afterwards. He's got homework.
Mhm.
All right, so let's start, guys. Let's get serious here. As you guys know, last week we had the presidential. Is the Ghost Pepper done, Brooks? You still?
Jesus.
There's no ghost pepper. I'm laughing at you and your weird hosting voice.
Let's get back. Serious face. The presidential debate. Let's be serious, guys. We know we had it last week. I forget what city or town they held it, but it was moderated by Chris Wallace from CBS, who normally is probably the most impartial Fox News correspondent that they have in their cachet.
Mm.
And obviously it featured the 2 presidential candidates, the incumbent president, Donald J. Trump, as well as the Democratic nominee, Joe R. Biden.
Mm.
So let's get right to it, guys. It was a disaster. Let's start with Keith, because I know we had our live podcast about this, but there was some other information that we shared amongst ourselves after the debate was aired that I want to get here in front of our audience.
Can we just get to the one thing before we even do all that is the audacity of him coming to this debate and possibly being infected with COVID. And
Point.
I'm just about to jump into that.
yeah,
Let's go, Keith.
go, Keith.
No, I'm just saying, but that point right there to me is a point that trumps everything that we're about to say about the actual debate, which to me I really feel was like disrespectful to call that a debate, disrespectful to other debates. But that, knowing the information we know now, the idea that they knew already that, you know what I'm saying, that members of their staff already had it, and that they were intentionally not wearing masks.
Mm. Nobody
Or
in his
social
family,
distancing
even
thing.
Chris.
Like, I
Smalls
really
called him
wonder,
out
like,
today.
what it takes.
I did
like,
see
what-
Melania. Melania did have the mask on when the cameras panned to her. in the
Melania was
crowd.
the only
only
one.
one, correct. And she, of course, tested negative.
No, she's got
No,
it.
she was positive.
Positive?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
Yeah,
got it.
him and her, they both got the Rona, but she had like mild symptoms. I honestly don't feel.
You know what happened? He got
I'll
home from
save
the
my
debate. He was all excited, like I won, and then jumped on top of her. So
Yo,
okay.
that
Moving right along.
Like
I don't
that
recall
visual was
seeing him.
unnecessary.
and then
Yeah,
she
I
was
don't-
like, "Get off me, Donald!
Yo, anyway.
Stupid.
I told you."
Miss you.
So,
In
Brooks,
the
what was
stipulation
your?
of the new prenup, we cannot do this anymore.
Oh Jesus, where do you get that accent from?
Yeah, it just sounds Pakistani.
This is not. Sounds like Borat.
I'm
Borat
working on
meets
it. I'm working on it.
Borat meets Slovakia.
Mhm.
So Brooks, what was your take on? I know we covered it real briefly about the fact that this guy knowingly came in, infecting folks, was probably looking to shake Joe Biden's hand, you know. But what was your take on the debate as a whole?
I just thought it was, I thought it was horrible. I'd rather watch a Will Ferrell movie than watch that debate again.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how bad it was.
On wax, you mentioned.
For those who don't know, she's not really a fan.
Oh,
Will
Will Ferrell, yeah.
So
Of
It was-
Will Ferrell, birds, or Jesus.
It was, I mean, I don't, it felt like a WWE wrestling match in a lot of ways, but worsely moderated. I don't know. It was horrible. Like, I was trying to sit down and watch it, and I just kept getting up and pacing and like walking around like a crazy person just because it was so difficult to even follow, let alone like, on any intellectual level, digest what they were actually trying to say.
Gotcha. You mentioned that the worsely moderated as one of the most distracting parts. Do you really feel that it was the moderator Chris Wallace's fault, whether it was a format of how they had it, or the actual participants, Biden and Trump, that kind of threw off the rails?
I think it was all of it. Like if it's a moderator, he's supposed to moderate, and like it wasn't until like an hour in that he finally was like, "All right, let me take
I
this
have a
back
theory
into
about that. By the
control."
way.
Go ahead, Mike.
What's
No,
it
I
there?
was just I was gonna add I have a feeling that Wallace wanted to rein it in as much as possible. I also have a feeling he had Fox News producers in his ear, like, just let Trump go, let him do his thing. So I wonder about that.
That's
you know?
possible.
So
That's possible.
Also, I think we use the whole we use they very liberally here. Like, it wasn't a WWE match between both of them. It was one cat. Like, one person was there trying to debate, and then let's be very clear.
yeah.
I thought that Biden was actually doing a so-so debate. Like, I thought his performance was so-so.
Mhm.
But he was the only one debating.
So
Like, everybody's trying to be fair, like, oh, like what these guys did, and these guys put on a bad performance. Like, no, Trump put on a very bad. Trump made it difficult to moderate. These are grown men. Like, people are putting way too much on Chris Wallace, and Chris Wallace is trying his hardest to be an impartial part of this whole thing. That's his whole job. Like, so now he has to become a teacher, a school teacher as well. Like Trump ruined that debate. Let's say it. Let's say it. And let's digest that and understand. Like, let's call it the truth. It's not about being like, oh, liberally equal. Like, they both didn't destroy that debate. One person destroyed that
person,
debate.
yeah. I think, to go to what Keith is saying, from my point of view, it felt like, I agree with what Keith is saying, that Trump really came in, and that's probably his game plan. Folks are
Followed
saying
none of the rules.
that he was going to go out there, be in attack mode. And then the Republican people, his pundits, are saying, well, he went too hot. We wanted him to go hot, but not that hot. So to me, it sounded like that was the game plan, was to not only go out there and just start throwing blurbs at Biden, but they'll probably pull in Biden as well to see if Biden can fall into the caricature. And then people's gonna look at Biden as like the senile dude. People already know who Trump is. Some people feel safe with that attitude of his. It doesn't matter. But then to see Biden go down to that level is what he was probably hoping to aim. Like when Biden called him a clown and told him to shut up, whatever, I thought that was beneath Biden, but I get it because he was finally frustrated.
Oh yeah.
Just as frustrated as we were.
Yep.
Exactly. And I think
He
that
didn't
was
lose
probably,
points for that.
yeah,
I don't think he lost points for that.
I felt like that Biden is kind of regretted when he was like telling him to shut up. Like you see in his, he called him a clown. Like when he caught himself saying that, he was just like, oh.
And that's why he didn't lose any points. Like Biden shows his humanity. Biden and in this particular race, more than like if what you call it, who was it? Who Bush beat for president?
Gore?
Yeah.
Al Gore?
Mm-hmm.
This would have been Gore's time. This would have been his moment because like people are now looking for the humanity of people. Like Trump trampled the idea of a humane president who cares about the people. Like this is really the battle that's going on. Who cares and who doesn't? Who wants somebody that cares and who doesn't? I feel like the one thing that Biden does is he constantly shows that he cares. Whether it be an act, whether he's a great actor at it or whatever, but it slips in, and it slips in unintentional ways.
Gotcha. So Brooks, let me ask you, because I know you weren't a staunch supporter of Biden and during the primaries, but do you feel like the recent debate, and to Keith's point about he shows his humanity, has that swayed you a little bit? Do you see that now in the candidate Biden?
No.
Okay. Elaborate, please.
I mean, I still don't think he's a great candidate. I think there's a lot that he can do to come out and talk about some of, the 94 crime bill, like, really talk about how, like, I think Kamala has come out to kind of denounce that bill and talk about the ways that she is working to counteract that. I haven't really heard that from Biden at all. The only reason I'm voting for him is because he's not Trump. Like, that's it. I don't think, and because he went to Syracuse. Let's be real.
Fair. That's fair.
Mike, you're on mute. I don't think he's great. I don't think he'll be a great president. I think he's riding Obama's coattails way too hard. I just don't see him like being able to, I mean, even in the debate, he wasn't able to like take control and show that he's like, the man or got this, or I shouldn't say the man because a woman could do the job as well. But he just doesn't, it's not that he doesn't come across as presidential. That's not the right way of saying it. He doesn't come across as like a strong leader, someone that could really like take control and take charge. Gotcha.
So Mike, again, I know you also weren't a staunch supporter of Biden through the Democratic primaries, but did you feel like anything out of this current debate? And the answer could be a simple no, but did anything sway you? Because I know they didn't really focus on policy, which was like the whole purpose of the debate.
We're saying they.
No, but even Biden. No, I would like to add the fact that Biden was very loose with some of the policy, other than the energy bill that he was talking about.
Right.
He was loose on.
What room was there? What room was there to get into policy?
Right,
that's what I'm saying. Biden. Again, like it's making me look like I'm a big fan of Biden, but I'm not. I'm a fan of process. And like he was gearing it, he was pushing it in that direction. You know what I'm saying? So, like that should have been Trump's next question. Like, oh, so what's your policy on that?
Yes. Yeah, but Trump wouldn't go there, right?
But he wouldn't go there. So, he's not gonna go there. In fact, did you see the New York Times article that came out with the interview that they were doing with Giuliani? Because Giuliani, I didn't see that, no. With Giuliani and Christie, who was helping Trump with his debate preparation.
Who also got COVID from it.
Their advice to him was to interrupt him a lot, so that it frustrated him, and his stuttering would take over. Yeah. Like they weren't trying to debate no issues.
Yeah, but then Christie also went on record saying, he went too hot. Like that was the game plan, but Trump went Thanos mode with that game plan to the point where. In
terms of this particular debate, I feel like if it was two regular people debating, the other person may have had a chance to win, may have won, because Biden really like put off a so-so debate. Like it wasn't it wasn't great what he was doing, but like he was literally the only one debating.
But let me. I want to chime in on.
I can't give him any fault in this particular one. Like,
Yeah.
like what do you do against a grown person acting like a child?
Yeah,
Who is also the president?
Let us give
chime
Mike
in
a
on
little,
what,
time here.
A
Go ahead,
couple things
Mike.
Brooks said. So Brooksy, I'm with you on mostly on his policies. I'm, you know, you guys know I was a Bernie guy, so I'm.
Me too.
Yeah, so I'm with I'm all in on Medicare for all and
Well, more so Liz.
all those policies. But here's the thing. I think what Brooksy was saying was about him not coming off strong or leader-like. I think that what they're putting in his ear is what Keith was suggesting is let Trump sink himself. And I think that's the strategy. And I'm actually okay with that. I don't want Biden to say too much to kind of mess it up. It's his to lose, basically. And I think less is more for Biden right now.
Yeah, but you have to understand, Biden is still human. When Trump brings up his son
Oh, I know.
or his sons,
Mhm.
he's not going to just listen to whatever's in the ear and just be quiet about it.
No,
You-
I don't expect
the look
him
of anger in his face, you could tell this
Those were
dude
the
was not
only
pretending.
times to me, those were really the only times where he really lost it during the debate. Was the times where his son came up and he had to defend his son. Like I think like those were the really only two like emotionally charged Biden, like, oh, you saying some stuff that you're not thinking about times during the debate to me from Biden.
Yeah.
That's when I respected him the most, to be honest, because I felt like that was when that was like his human side and his real side. And it was like, look, I've been through some shit. I've like a lot of bad things have happened, but here I am. I'm still standing. Here's my stance on it. Like, and that made him more human, but in a way that shows that he can have empathy for like the American people, which is like what I want to see from a president.
Gotcha. So
I don't think people want a leader like I understand what we say about like power and like, oh, you're powerful, like taking over a situation, this, that, and the other. I think people more so want to see a representative, you know what I'm saying, of themselves. Like, and I think Biden, for whatever fault y'all have, 94 crime bill, this, that, and the other, which actually was called for by a wider margin of people than most are actually agreeing to now.
Yeah.
Many of those organizations being black churches and prominent black. So like that 94 crime bill was not his alone to shoulder. So I can't put that all on him. But like,
great point.
How he actually approaches everything, like it makes it way more human because he looks like imperfect you.
Correct.
That's he comes across as like, oh, like this is the imperfect me sitting across the table.
Correct. And I think just to round this conversation up, I that's exactly how I want to cap it. Like this guy's representation of me, but he's still competent to do his day-to-day job. He's not going to start us an unnecessary war. He could still get things done, balance budgets, while also being alike to my own values somewhat. You know, some people just like the representation and don't care whether the guy can actually do the job. That's another issue, you know.
That's Trump.
But let's talk about the upcoming debate real quick, folks. So this is going to be interesting. I mean, unlike Trump and Biden, who were like the old curmudgeons, old school, you know, old white males, you've got Mike Pence, who's a little bit younger, but is not known to be, how should I say?
You wouldn't tell by looking at him.
Energetic, you know, full of passion and anything. Then you have Kamala, newcomer to the stage at the presidential level, at least, you know, presidential VP level. What do you guys think, forecasting how this debate is going to come out? Let's start with Brooks. What are your thoughts on this debate? What do you think is going to come out of this debate?
Well, first of all, it's in Salt Lake, which is pretty conservative, pretty like white. So my first thought is just wondering if that audience is going to kind of like sway the debate in any way.
Mm.
I'm excited for Kamala. This is like her first real big like performance, if you will, on the big stage. So I'm excited for her. I think this is kind of like do or die for her in a lot of ways. Maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I think
This
she
is the
really
pinnacle of her political career at the moment.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I think she has to really show herself. And it's just interesting because they're so opposite. They are just such different people that I mean, I don't even know how it's going to go. And to be fair, I don't watch much about Mike Pence because it's like difficult for me to watch him and listen to him and all of those things. So I don't know like much about his style or his what his debates are like. I don't know. They're so different.
No one remembers his debate 4 years ago.
Not at all. Yeah.
Well, let's go to the Howard alumni, the Bison over here. Keith, what do you think is going to happen? What are you hoping, and what do you think is going to actually happen?
Well, my expectation, judging from what I remember of his last debates performances, the guy is dry. Like, he's just somebody with a presence who has a command of like the command of that stage presence. Anybody I feel like could beat him, and only because like he could be speaking everything correctly. Like, you don't believe him. He looks fake. There is no passion. Like he seems like an older Ken doll.
Like a robot.
Like a robot. Like he's just like a political robot.
That lack of passion, yeah.
Like it's just I even now I wonder like, does he even care about Trump? Like does he, like, what's his deal? Like, I don't even understand Pence. Like, what? How did he get there?
Trump is a means to an end for his evangelicals and his Christian agenda, basically.
And in this society right now, as it is, like, that's not going to beat somebody like Kamala. Sorry.
No. Remember last time he went up against Tim Kaine, who is pretty much as boring on the left as you.
Dude, like, it was like a bore fest, and he was the more boring one.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy.
Still lost that
like
one.
The whole debate was after you. No, after you. So
I feel like Kamala will be.
I came from the sugar crops and this and this and a lot of their backstories.
Like,
no policy though.
She's going to use facts, and she's going to spank him by being able to use the facts and be able to say it in a very witty demeanor. Like,
that's going to be Kamala at the debate.
Dear Lord. Dimmock.
He's definitely getting Dimmock. She's a prosecutor. Like, she's,
dude.
Like, I almost
made her bones on debating. Real debating, too.
I almost feel sorry for him.
I don't. But I definitely think she's
it's almost. It's far, almost. Far.
All right. Speaking of these debates, you guys know Saturday Night Live came back this Saturday, and of course, their cold open featured the presidential debate that we were just talking about. Surprisingly, they chose not to recast Biden with Jason Sudeikis, who I loved in his role.
Yeah.
He was kind of goofy, but he was kind of like, kind of funny too. Jim Carrey was actually he took the mantle as Joe Biden, and obviously Alec Baldwin, who's been a great Trump, was there. So let's start with Mike this time. Mike, what were your takes on the SNL premiere and the cold open?
So I was curious when I heard Jim Carrey was going to do Biden. I was curious how well he would do it, and I thought they managed to get the look, and he got the voice down pretty well, I thought. One thing Sudeikis didn't have was the voice, but he was more of the caricature of Joe.
Yeah,
so that's why it was funny. But
that crazy uncle.
Yeah. So, but I think Jim Carrey was able to more accurately portray Joe, so that's why I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it did feel a little more realistic, but
Yeah.
not as funny as Jason. But go ahead.
Yeah. So overall, I thought the cold open was really good.
All right.
And then towards the end, when Kamala came out, when Maya Rudolph, that was nice.
All right.
Mhm.
Brooks, did you see the show?
I did not see the whole thing. It is on my list of things to watch. Though.
Let me
I
guess.
don't watch a lot of
You did watch the musical performance by Meg Thee Stallion.
Sure did. Yep,
Oh, you did. Did
They
you see
still
her
showed-
political message?
sure did.
I
I thought
liked
that
it.
was great.
I liked
Yeah.
it a lot.
Yeah.
Did
I
they
was-
still show SNL on Hulu? I don't know. I haven't. It's been a while.
Yes.
Okay.
They do.
No, I'm just curious. No, seriously.
No,
Check this guy's pockets, man. We're
You
not
guys
getting these
Hulu has
checks.
live sports, right?
You're
I
not
don't-
getting the check.
Let me
Delayed.
check my checkbook here.
You may not be.
But yeah, so you watched the musical performance. Which I
Yes.
thought was pretty good too as well.
So I forgot that it was coming on Saturday night for whatever reason. And then Sunday when I woke up and I was looking at Instagram, as I often do when I first wake up in the morning.
Social dilemma.
I know.
No dilemma.
It's fine.
It's the new cigarette.
It's
I
not.
saw her performance and I was like, oh my God. And then I texted you guys, like, you guys have to watch Saturday Night Live just based off of her performance. I was so impressed that she's young. Let's all remember that she's super young, and she just had the audacity to use that platform to really show some political messages, and not like, I mean, those are pretty strong political messages, that she, and I was also impressed that Saturday Night Live let her do that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
she got that was very direct.
It was very direct. Yeah.
very direct, and
Gotcha.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I was totally not expecting it, and there was definitely yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Wait, how old is she? You said she's young.
23, 24.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm
I think
looking
she's
up right
a little bit. I think she might be 25, but
Okay.
she's college age. She's in college.
So,
Yeah.
Keith, what were your thoughts on the show? And I mean, we talked about musical
No,
performance,
like-
but the show.
Like Brooks, I didn't see the whole show. I saw snippets, but I saw the whole performance.
Mm.
The whole performance of that song, but I only saw snippets of everything else. Like her, I was going to go back and watch it, and I just didn't yet. But I didn't see the whole thing.
So it looks like, Mike, you and I are probably the only ones that watched the Weekend Update with
Yes,
Jay.
and
That's what I want.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it was
good.
okay.
It's good.
I know it's going to be good. Damn it!
I know. That's my favorite part. She's 25, by the way. Fact check.
Okay.
25.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Good. I know.
Fact check.
Nice.
So I know we talked about parodies of stuff, SNL, and then we talked about debate. But something that came through my radar last week that I want to take a quick little, couple minutes to talk about is South Park's premiere, new season premiere that happened last week, the pandemic special. This was a full hour.
Wish it was on
Um,
TV.
So it looks like Brooks did not see it and Keith
There-
did not see it.
You guys got your chin diapers?
I didn't see
They
it.
don't get the joke. They didn't see it.
You gotta.
Yeah.
It's on
feel
Heroes
like you
Peak
guys
TV.
I
Huh?
continue to be
Yeah.
amazed by the
Well,
South
here's the
Park
TV.
creators. It is? Oh,
Yeah.
good. I wouldn't mind watching it again.
Mhm.
I continue to be amazed by the writers and the creators of South Park because how they can take a current topic, whether it's controversial or something like, I don't know, video games, and make it so interesting in a way that's I didn't think of that way. Like when they were showing, and I don't want to spoil it, but the version of Trump that they have on the show, when he came out with the whole stats of COVID and the people he's focusing on, and this is the reason why, because he couldn't get the wall built. And you're like, damn, this is some interesting theory here. Yeah, it's a joke, but it made you kind of think. They're putting a little stuff in your head. And then just the way that these characters are, you've grown and loved them for 20 plus years now. They continue to give you fire and heat. And I loved it. I love the show. I'm getting a little tired of Integrity Farms thing though with Marsh.
Yeah.
It's a little too much. I'm not a weed head, so I don't find that stuff entertaining too much. But they're
Well,
beating that to the death.
But
with
you
him
know,
and
it was
Leo.
all to make fun of Colorado legalizing it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you got to know. It's less
Yeah,
about.
I know where it started,
Yeah.
but
It's
they've
less about
kept
weed
this for 2 seasons now.
It's
Mhm.
less about weed heads and more so about the growing weed industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But usually they don't carry like story arcs from season to season. They're still carrying the story arc to the point where they combine Disney, they combine a bunch of items,
Oh my
how
God, the
COVID's
whole Disney. Oh,
yeah, it's interesting.
mm.
So yeah, Mike, what were your thoughts on the premiere?
Well, I'm just glad we got to the origins of the virus, the
I think
transmission.
Mike, we lost you.
Hello?
Oh, we can hear you now. Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying, I'm glad that the episode got to the origins of the virus. Thank you, Randy Marsh, for
Dear freaking yeah, don't spoil it.
your escapades. Yeah,
Disgusting.
and and
That was
I like
disgusting.
how is it Mr. Mackey? No, Mackey's the counselor. Who is the
The
teacher?
principal. Oh, the teacher.
No, the president teacher now.
Principal.
No,
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 he's the
he's the
counselor.
president. Huh?
Mr. Mackey. Mackey is
The guidance
president.
counselor.
The
No,
guidance
no,
counselor.
no. The teacher that's now the president as Trump.
Oh,
Mr. Garrison.
Mr.
Mr.
Garrison
Garrison,
or
yeah.
Mrs.
President
Garrison, whatever
Garrison,
she was.
yeah.
Yeah, he's Trump. Yeah,
Yeah.
that ending just
Oh.
blew. Yeah, I couldn't stop laughing at that ending with him.
Yeah, we're
as
not going
Trump.
to spoil that either. But yeah, it was nice. I'm glad they're back because, yeah, like you were saying, though, how quick they can do it. Like I read once that when they switched to their new computer system, they were able
Yeah.
to push out an episode in 8 days. So if a
Dude.
news topic came up by the next
They
week,
touched on everything: defunding police,
Yeah.
school teachers quitting because of the schools, the Zoom school. They touched on almost every topic
man.
in that 1 hour. It was just hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And then Cartman was probably the second funniest character of that episode too.
Yeah, definitely watch it.
All right,
After.
good. So I think it's time that we take a moment to do our review of the week. And this
Mhm.
happens to be a show that I want to say most of us, if not all of us, been watching. I know Chris, who's not here, has been watching. I'm not so sure Brooksy has been watching the show.
Sure,
But-
she hasn't.
I
It's
don't
the
even know what to
HBO
say.
Max show Raised by Wolves. Just finished your season 1. This was a show, I think actually Keith was the one that first brought it to my attention. And the first couple of episodes, I know we talked about it in one of these pods at the time. I think episode 3. This guy fell asleep because he didn't find it entertaining. But I loved the show. I love the concept of the show. I love where I thought it was gonna go. And I love the budget and cinematography and set pieces of the show. Now, I think I'm the
Yeah,
only one
this
that's
is
seen it all the way through the end. Am I
That's a
right?
good question. I'm curious where they film it. Hang on. Oh, South
I
Africa.
didn't see the last-
South
I didn't see
Africa?
the last-
Yeah.
Keith, you watch it all the way through?
I didn't see the last episode.
Okay. So
I'm like 10 minutes from the end of the season.
yeah, I'm not gonna include the last episode, but I think
Mhm.
the show started on a high arc, right? Some great moments, great concepts. We talked about religion, technology, humanity, where we're going. And then it dipped a little bit because of these little side stories between certain characters, right? That didn't really push the overall story, but I guess they're trying to get you, you know, attracted to some of these characters. And then the third act of the episode started coming back up again when the stakes got a little high. There were some stakes with some of the characters, whether they'd be, killed or not. But that final episode just left me empty. Like there were so many questions. I felt like it reminded me like a season of Lost, where Lost threw out all these mystery things, right? And then you were like online and you're Googling, ooh, what could this be? What could that be? Ooh, I think this is where we're gonna go. This is great. This is great. And then they gave you a bunch of little side stories about these characters' backstory. You're like, all right, this doesn't move the whole anthology of the island, but okay, I'll watch it because I like this character. So now you're hoping the last couple episodes they explain to you what's the smoke monster. They explain to you why we're there crashing on the island. But in this show, I think the last 2 episodes gave you all those mystery box, but didn't really close it. They just gave you more mysteries at the end. And you're like, all right, I get it. You want me hooked for season 2. I understand that. But you got to do the business of closing some of the original arcs and not just leave it open-ended or just totally ignore it to close out the season. And I know it's tough for me saying without spoiling it, but I wasn't too happy with that last episode. It just felt like they probably could have cut 1 or 2 episodes in the overall show and then really focus on that that first 3 episodes. Like really get into that in the last couple episodes to close the season out, and still give you little, cliffhangers for season 2. So I see Keith looking very, pensive about it. But Keith, what were your thoughts on what up to
Well,
episode 8?
again, I didn't see the last episode, but like,
So you're episode 8.
I kind of understand what you mean, though, about like, I mean, I know you didn't, you were trying not to spoil it, but I know what you mean to be like left with the questions, like, and it's not like, oh, like this is season 2 type questions, like, okay, cool, like maybe you guys will answer these questions in season 2. Like it's just like general, like, okay, you've never answered this the whole fucking season.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Yeah.
Like at least by now you'd give me an answer to this one damn question.
Yes, there's a couple, but yes, that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, no, I dig that. But like I really, it's more of an art piece to me. I don't know. I look at it, the story. I like the story, and I appreciate like what they're doing, like you said, with religion and like that being a part of like factionizing and like this war of civilizations, this, that, and the other. Like I like the idea with that. That's dope. But like to me, the whole thing of itself is more like an art piece. Like, and I haven't seen how it ended, but like I'm really enjoying just kind of experiencing it. I don't know how like it's weird, but like it just seems like the mom android, like she gives me these like mother, she gives me these Grace Jones-esque vibes for some reason. Like I really enjoy like the world that they've kind of like created, and I feel like they did a very good job of it.
I agree. I'm not saying that the way that the show ended turned me off of the show entirely. I just felt like I gave Lost as the only example I could think of, because it's a show that I really loved some seasons in the beginning, and then they just like kind of went to these little side quests, like the gang was split and you follow these guys for 2 episodes, and then when you get back near the end, you're like, all right, let's get some of the big stuff answered, and they don't, but they just give you even a bigger mystery. Now in season 2, you're like, new notepad, and you like, meanwhile the first sheets are unanswered, and I can't wait till you see it, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm looking forward to discuss with you and Chris and Mike about. But I see as Mike is waiting here on Ready Alert here. Mike, what are your thoughts on the wait, how far did you get? Episode 8? Episode 7?
No, I'm 10 minutes from finishing the season, so.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right, so you probably see a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my take on it is like this show is like if Lost and Game of Thrones had a baby. So.
So I was close.
Because especially when they split from, okay, so you have mother and father and the kids, and then you've got Mithric. What are they? Mithrix or something?
Like the Mithric,
Mithric or something. That group, and people vying for power and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, some of it, I agree with you on the dip. Like especially when they started, like when the mother thought she was pregnant and stuff, and it was like a Jesus baby, you know.
Yeah. Oh, wait till you probably got to the point where go ahead.
Did I spoil it for you, Keith?
Probably.
Sorry, man.
That's all right.
No, he's got to see it the way we saw
it.
So he has the same what the fuck reaction.
Yeah, I forget. I don't remember how far you. So you're in episode 8.
Yeah, he's on episode 8.
But so you've seen the part where she's like hooking up to that holodeck thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
All that stuff to me, like it was getting long-winded. Like
exactly. But overall, I mean, I thought it was enjoyable, right? Like it's a good watch. I guess if there's nothing else on, I'll watch it. I don't know. Like
that's not a good recommendation.
That's not a good watch.
You have nothing else to watch. Give Razor Wolves a shot.
Yeah.
If you like Kellogg's cornflakes, try this. No frills.
Feel like this is the second time we've talked about the show, and I'm again definitely not going to watch it based off of your
But
recommendation.
the first
So
time
thanks.
you were hearing about eating alien babies
Yeah,
and all
that
this
was
stuff.
weird.
Yeah.
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 It just solidified it for me. So thanks, guys.
It's a good show. I like the concept of the show. I like some of the writing.
Okay.
I like some of the
I saw.
characters.
I do have a question. Okay. From what I understand, Mother was created by the religious folk, right? And then captured by the atheists
Yes.
and converted. Okay.
And converted.
Because I think I had missed something or I got lost along the way. Like all of a sudden, wait a minute, why is she,
Yeah.
she's with the religious people or
Reprogrammed.
so? Yeah, so they had
Yeah, reprogram, but that was a weird reprogramming process.
yeah.
The flashbacks from the creator.
Over programmed, overlaid. Like,
Yeah,
they
so-
can hide her old programming.
Mm. And so they created this weapon, and it seemed like in the beginning they had no way to fight it. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah,
they
there was one
started
flashback they showed us where it was like she was just basically OP. She would show up to the battlefield and wreck shop
And the whole thing with the eyes confuses me because it seems like all her powers comes from her
the
mouth.
eyes. So when she doesn't have the eyes on her possession, she can't.
I think they get destroyed or something like that. Like I think it's a sound or something like that she emits.
Like
So
I
it's-
noticed she was melting stuff with her mouth, and she was freezing stuff with her mouth.
But it's not just a sound screech banshee thing. She also can fly with the eye. She can't fly when she doesn't have the eye thing on.
And then turn on
And-
the
and
armor
her-
and whatever, right?
Yeah, she can't do any of that stuff.
So,
Like there's this, and I think you got to the part where she got ambushed, right?
mhm.
And she couldn't run and fly away. She was getting hit and stabbed and everything.
Yeah.
So without the eye, she's just like a regular. She's like, what's his name, father?
Yeah, actually, the father character is more interesting to me than the mom.
He grew on me. Yeah, he grew on me. He did. I didn't like him in the first couple episodes.
it's their becoming human that's kind of like weirding me, that I like interests me a little bit and weirding me out. Like the decisions that they have to make in getting in achieving their programming is actually making them more human. Like I don't know, like at least that's how I see it. That's how I've been looking at it. Like they have a programmed goal or like responsibility. I will do. They have a programmed responsibility, but that particular responsibility and how they execute it, it seems like each of them, it's making them, like it's building a personality in each of them based on how they see how they get to that goal.
Yeah, I see that. I think other than those two characters, the main, I guess you want to call them antagonists, the husband and wife that kind of like mimicked the parents, they were pretty interesting, and they continue to be interesting throughout the entire story. But the kids, can't stand any of the kids. Campion got less interesting throughout the show.
Oh, I hate
season.
them already.
Yeah, it's like those are the parts where they were focusing on them. I'm just like, oh my god, this is boring.
Yeah, I give you that.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my hot take. And Brooke, since you didn't see it, you've got no takes.
No take. Thank you. But I am on season 2 of The Boys.
Mm.
Excellent.
So,
We'll do our wrap up soon enough.
yep.
So, real quick, can you give us like a letter grade for season 1, and maybe one sentence or two sentences of season 1?
Okay. I think I'm going to give it a B. It was really weird in the beginning, but I'm kind of into it now. I'm giving it a B because the ending of the season finale of season 1 was fucking weird. But like weird in a like mess with your mind, but not necessarily in like a great way. I don't know. It was just a weird ending, and it wasn't expecting it. But at the same time, that kind of made me want to watch season 2. because I was like, all right, where is this weird show going? Now I'm
Going.
into it. Now I have to watch it. So yeah, now I'm in. I'm interested to see about the character of I don't know her name. I don't think anybody knows her name. She doesn't talk. The one
Girl.
with
Her name is Girl.
girl.
The
No,
girl. Yeah.
no. The dude calls her something. He has a.
Oh, you got. Yeah, but she's known as the girl.
The girl,
Yeah.
Okay.
In
Yeah,
the
I'm
graphic
kinda-
novel, she's the girl.
I feel like I'm halfway watching just to see what her story is and like what's gonna happen with her.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh, she's called the female on the graphic novel and on the show. Yeah, the female.
female. Okay. Yeah, and I also kind of want Starlight to like just turn bad and start fucking shit
Her
up.
real name is Keith. You heard when she was the Baxter. Her real name is Kimiko.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I knew it was, and that's what the dude was calling her.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dude was in love with her. Like they never called her the female.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't sound right to me.
No, because in
I
a
thought that's
graphic
what it
in a
is.
graphic novel that the
That's
show's
what-
based off, she's the female, and then they're the boys. But go ahead.
And then Homelander is just like, I hope he dies
Horribly.
horribly. Yeah.
I like his character.
He's
I
You
like
really
would.
do.
he's like if Trump had superpowers.
Yes,
we would.
that
be
is
screwed.
exactly what he's like. Thank
Yeah.
We
you.
would be screwed.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think he's smarter than Trump, though. That's the thing.
maybe. And more in shape than Trump. He's not obese, as they were
Well,
calling
that
him.
too.
He has the same. He might have the same failings though. Which
But he does same narcissism and insecurities. Yeah, all that. Yeah, he's got that too.
Got the daddy issues.
But I tell you, more than hating him, I hate what's her name even more.
Season 2. That's season 2.
Yeah, let's hold off on that.
Yeah. Season 2 is the new one that's out that we were watching.
You talking about Stormfront?
Yeah.
Yeah, season 2.
Yeah, so hold off till Brooks is done with the season.
That's all right. I won't remember anyways.
Oh.
Wait, how far are you in season 2? You said episode
Like-
1, right?
No, like the third episode? Maybe the
Oh.
second.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
Okay.
So have you seen
Yeah.
a Stormfront character? The new 7, member of the 7.
I think they're like just about to introduce her.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. That's gonna be one to watch.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 is the one where they reveal her.
Okay. So that's I've watched 1 and 2 and I'm about to watch 3. There we go.
Hope, I haven't read anything from the graphic novels, but like I really hope Kamiko kills her. I really hope she gets that pleasure at some point, whether it be this season or season.
Yeah, I don't think they're really following the graphic novels down to a T when I was able to look
If
online.
it is in the graphic novels or not, but I will find great pleasure in
Because
watching.
if they are, Black Noir is going to be a very interesting character.
Hmm.
Very interesting character.
Black Noir, yo.
Oh, right.
They definitely
Right,
opened him
right,
up
right.
this season because he wasn't really getting busy like that the first season.
No, he wasn't.
He was definitely not getting used the first season. This season, though, but it's again, I feel like this season is way darker.
Yeah,
Really?
I agree. Yeah,
think
it is
they're gonna-
darker.
James, you think they're going to reveal Black Noir at the end of the season?
Well, I think they could. I think the final, yeah, I think so because it ties into the graphic novel. It's a major story arc in the graphic novel. I remember I'm already spoiled because I looked online. I did a deep dive, but that's assuming the show follows that.
No, but that's an interesting take on those characters.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that and how
Yeah,
they
same.
deal with it. Mm.
same.
Really.
All right. Sounds like we've hit our stride, ladies and gentlemen, with the Heroes Peak podcast squad. Mike, wait, what was that? What was that, Keith? You got something to say?
No, it's perfect.
Oh, look at that. You hear that, Chris? Nah, we love you, Chris. We're just joking. We love you. We miss you. Mike, anything for the bag? You want to get out?
No, this won't air before we do our live debate coverage on Wednesday.
Okay.
But I'll post links to everything. And don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on all the social medias at Heroes Peak. And let us know how we're doing, what you think, and all that good stuff.
Can they email us if they want to?
Absolutely. info@heroespeak.com.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good night.
Night.
Dun, dun.